Agentic DevOps for Industry 4. A little bit of an announcement to go along with it. Take 0. All right, so at the risk of stating the obvious, okay, our ability, your ability to build and the way we build industrial software has changed. I mean, the fact is we can build industrial software. All of us, even non-software developers, can build industrial software now. At a minimum, industrial software toolkits. But most organizations don't know it yet. Though somewhere in their organization, they are finding out very quickly. Manufacturers, integrators, they buy platforms, okay? Ignition, HiveMQ, MQTT Broker. They buy DevOps platforms like Maestro Hub and HiByte. They buy industrial connectivity software. They buy MES platforms, okay? And one of the things that they realize is that two things they realize. Either there are gaps in the things that they buy, okay? Which is why the IIoT platform became so important. The Industry 4 platform, things like Ignition, TatSoft, WinCCOA, platforms for solving problems that you could build stuff in. Either there were gaps in the things that they bought, or they were buying things, they were paying for features that they weren't even using. In fact, the vast majority of the features they were paying for, they weren't using. Okay? So for the gaps, you either wait, work with the vendor for them to close the gap, or you pay someone to close the gap, or you go without until you can no longer go without, and then you find some other tool that will close the gap, but now you've created a data silo. That's the way we had been doing it. But the reality is that era is over. And we're all figuring it out at the same time. Some of us are further ahead than others. The fact is you can build to close the gaps now, and manufacturers are. And if you're an organization, if you're, integrators and manufacturers are building to close the gaps, even if you don't know it. Someone in your organization is, okay? And you can build just the feature you need so that you don't have to pay for the features you don't. That is a simple reality. That is fact, okay? However, all of us who get involved in writing software tools using things like Claude Code and Claude Desktop, etc. Now Grok has got Grok Build, okay? We all ask kind of the same questions. We identify some pretty quick gaps. Like, wow, I can only build a product up to a certain size before it starts collapsing in on itself. I'm not able to manage the documentation. I'm getting more, I have to refactor it more and more. The agent is underperforming as it's building this tool. The bigger it gets. I have more and more regression. Every time the agent builds a new feature, it's breaking other features. That's regression. Refactoring is when you build something, but you build it suboptimally, and you realize it later based on performance, and you got to go back in and optimize the code base. That's refactoring. And it's all because people who are not software professionals, who are writing software, they don't know best practices. They don't, we all ask the same question, how do I even know what best practices are in DevOps before I can use best practices for agentic DevOps? Nobody's publishing a standard, okay? I mean, kind of. But no one's publishing a standard. Every tutorial you see, every video that comes out on YouTube is contradicting the last one. Okay? The tech is just moving so unbelievably fast. We ask the question, how do I decide between Claude Code and just Claude Desktop? How do I decide to use Grok Build versus Claude Code? When do I need a full DevOps pipeline? And when am I overbuilding? At what point do I need to move the way that I'm managing writing my toolkits out of just a Claude project, for example? When at what threshold is the instruction inside of a Claude project or the skills that I've built for the agent to use no longer sufficient for managing context and capabilities? Why does RAG keep falling short? Right? People ask me this all the time. What about RAG? I'm like, well, everyone eventually discovers, especially in industrial software development, that it falls short. Why does it fall short when what I really want to do is just manage context? You ask yourself the question, I feed it the docs and it still forgets. It drifts. Why? The agent drifts. Why is it that 7 turns ago, I told the agent explicitly, always read this document before you do anything. And then 6 turns later, it stops reading the document and it starts drifting its action. Why does it do that? Everyone asks that question. How do I actually manage context across a long development cycle? One of the things I've been saying about everyone thinks they're a software developer now because they've got Claude Code. And everyone's building tools, and that's awesome. But I don't think a lot of people understand that what they're building is a shed in their backyard that no one's going to live in. They're going to use it to put some shit in, but you're not going to invite your family over to stay in that shed. You're not building a house. You're not building an apartment building. You're not building a mall. You're not with the way that you're approaching writing software. You're building sheds in the backyard where, the way you're doing things isn't all that important. But go ahead and try to build a house the way you build that shed and watch it fall in on itself. What happens when the agent loses the thread? And how do I stop that from happening? The knowledge thread. What are the real pitfalls of building my own tools? And if you're in an industry and you're building industrial software, or at a minimum industrial tools, you might build your own MQTT client, for example. You might build your own app that is pulling data from some place and displaying it. And then you keep extending it. People are like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you start adding new and new features and it starts performing worse and worse and worse. It doesn't get better and better and better. What breaks first when I hit critical mass? What do I wish I knew before I started? I wrote down all these questions that I asked myself. And why do my agents keep refactoring code that was already working? I've asked myself every one of these questions. I wrote down every single one of them. At some point, I've asked myself over the last 3.5 years, every one of these questions. And then in the last year, I've developed a half dozen industrial software products. And I have developed a DevOps pipeline working with other software developers who are also building industrial software. I've developed a DevOps pipeline and strategy and workflows that have gotten me to the point where I can go hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sprints. I'm at 360 something sprints just on the Notice software build without a single regression. Regression is when an agent gets done building a new feature and it doesn't break any other features. I have to refactor code 1 in 1,000 turns, or 1 in 1,000 turns. So I have 99.9% accuracy in the code development. How? And I think if you were to see my DevOps pipeline, you'd be surprised. So one of the big things that keeps coming up in Mastermind, for those of you in Mastermind, one of the big things that keeps coming up is about where do I buy and build? So what software do I buy? What software do I build? What tools do I build? How do I build them? How do I manage the building of them? How do I maintain that software once we're using it in production? Okay. In the post-agentic AI world, it is an absolute truism that you will build some of your tools. Not someday, but now. And whether you're doing it formally as an organization or whether people in your organization are doing it themselves like they used to build kick-ass Excel spreadsheets, it's happening. Systems integrators, end users, it's happening. The market is shifting. With Claude Desktop, Claude Code, and Cursor working as a team, that is your optimal pipeline. That's what I've discovered. That is the optimal pipeline. Okay? Claude Desktop, project, instructions, agents, skills. Claude Code, and Cursor as the peer reviewer, all working together as a team, and then bolting on DevOps tools. That is the best way to build industrial software or industrial software toolkits. A project agent owns your product. That's in Claude Desktop. It plans your development and it holds your context. A developer agent writes your code. That's Claude Code and its sub-agents. And a peer review agent that keeps it clean and looks for gaps. That's Cursor. You add a DevOps pipeline that makes sure it stays working with little or no regression or refactoring, and you'll avoid critical mass. That's it. I mean, I've built UNS Studio, just Walker. I'm the only human involved in it. But I have 24 agents. And UNS Studio is incredibly powerful. In fact, UNS Studio is more performant than Ignition is. I can handle more tag writes. I can handle more tag changes. I can have more open clients. Granted, UNS Studio is not a modular platform, and it's not meant to compete with Ignition. It's not, it's not something that's supposed to replace Ignition. I want to be fair, it's more performant than Ignition, and it was built with one guy and a bunch of agents. Notice is I said, man, I really like Lucidchart and I really like OneNote, and I really like to combine Lucidchart and OneNote together, get rid of all the features I hate, and then add in a bunch of Industry 4 tools. Like, I want to be able to drop in it. I want to be able to connect to brokers. I want to be able to drop MQTT or UNS clients onto a canvas. I want to be able to manipulate databases. I want to be able to query data from databases. I want to be able to coalesce all that. I want to be able to build that in a canvas environment. I want to be able to create knowledge graphs all inside my notebook. I built all of that myself and a couple dozen agents. And those products are going to market, likely as a combination of, purely open source and, for the things that have to be maintained, obviously some commercial license. So I've showed Notice and UNS Studio a bunch of times, and one of the questions that keeps coming up is, can you teach the DevOps? And so to that end, for those of you who are in Mastermind, we're going to be doing, I'm announcing 2 workshops that we're doing over the next few months. So for those of you in Mastermind, this is included in your tuition. If you are not in Mastermind, you are going to be able to take the workshop if you want to. It'll be available at IIoT.university. I do not know what the cost is going to be based on what my level of effort is. I know it's going to be pretty expensive. It's a huge lift for us. It's going to be a 2-day workshop. Okay. And on day 1, I'm going to teach the theory, the DevOps theory. At the end of day 1, all the students, we are going to pick a product that we want to build. And on day 2, I'm going to build that product. You're going to be able to follow along. Okay, you're going to be able to follow along and build it using your own DevOps pipeline that I'm going to teach you how to set up. And then when we're all done, that product is going to get pushed to GitHub, a private GitHub repository that all of you will be added to, and you'll own that product. Okay, it's going to be 2 days live. It'll be in July. In September, we're going to do the MES Bootcamp Redux for the post-Agentic AI world. We're going to do that in September. So we're going to do the MES Bootcamp again, but it's going to be in the post-AI world. How do we use agents with MES? How do we use agents to build MES? Okay. So those are the next 2 workshops. But the big one we're announcing right now is this Agentic DevOps for Industry 4. On day 2, you're going to tell us what to build, and we're going to ship it live. It'll be a real Industry 4 tool. Okay, it'll be built by this whole cohort. It'll be yours to keep. It'll be published to GitHub, and it'll be exclusive to students in the room. Okay, I want to go over a couple of the prerequisites. Okay, so the core premise of this workshop, I'm going to go ahead and read it. In the post-agentic AI world, manufacturing end users and systems integrators no longer wait for vendors to build every tool they need. Okay, they build their own. Not only that, they may see a tool that someone else has built, but it's wrapped in a bunch of features that they don't want. So they just extract the tool. They go, I'd really like that. And I'm going to build it myself using agents. Okay? They build their own custom software that works alongside purchase platforms on a shared digital infrastructure. I'm seeing this everywhere. This workshop is going to teach you how to do that exactly. Okay? Use best practices DevOps workflows designed for agentic AI development as of July of 2026. So the central argument is properly structured documentation, context management, agent personas, and DevOps pipelines are not overhead. Okay, they're not things that you can choose whether or not to do. They are the difference between software that works once and software that works forever with minimal regression and refactoring. And any of you who's been building tools knows you're hitting critical mass because you're building a shed in the backyard and then you're deciding to turn it into a house, and all the decisions you made because you didn't use best practices to begin with, you can't scale your shed to a home. Okay? This workshop is designed to overcome that. Here are the things that you're going to need. Okay? Prerequisites. So for those of you who are wondering, okay, if you're in Mastermind, this is going to be included. You're just going to opt in. Okay? If you're not in Mastermind, it'll be available at IIoT.university. So what you need to have on day one, before day one, you need to have an active Claude account. Okay? Pro or team, with Claude Desktop installed on your machine. Okay? So for those of you who are going to do this with your employers, okay, first off, you're not using Copilot to build your tools. And if you are, you're a fool. Okay? You really are. You're building Volkswagen Beetles and other people are building Ferraris. No way around it. Okay? You need an active Claude account, Pro or Team, with Claude Desktop installed. You're going to need Claude Code enabled in your environment. And you're going to need a GitHub account, and you need to share your username submitted to our team so that we can add you to the repo, because it's going to be a private repo. And then your last thing you need is a working familiarity with Industry 4 and IIoT concepts. Okay? Specifically Unified Namespace and IIoT. All right? Day one theory, we're going to set up the pipeline. We're going to show you how to create the personas. We're going to show you how those personas work together. We're going to show you how to set up the documentation. We're going to show you how the agent personas use common documentation to share context. Okay? In a way that scales. All right? At the end, we're going to pick the product that we're going to develop on day two. And then day two, we're going to develop that product. I'm going to be developing it. You're going to develop alongside. Okay? But the one that we push to GitHub is going to be the one I'm developing. And you're going to be watching me doing it. And then you're going to have access to that product. And you'll be able to fork it and keep going with it if you want to. All right? You'll see more information about this workshop, but those of you who keep reaching out about, hey, when are you going to do the DevOps thing? Here's the announcement. All right? All right, that's it. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Primarily for this reason. I have talked to scores of end users and integrators over the last few months. Every single one of them are building software. Zero exceptions. Everyone is building software using AI agents. Out of the 40 or so that I can think of, there was one who had their DevOps pipeline set up even remotely correctly. Just one. That's how much it's needed. Okay. With that, like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.